Hello, Kelsey Taylor here. Welcome to another movie review. I haven't done any movie reviews in quite a while, but yeah, I'm going to be reviewing the new Running Man movie that came out this weekend. I finally was able to see it on Sunday, like today, like this earlier this afternoon. I was originally going to go see it on Saturday, but I had to work, so I had to pick Sunday to do it because I don't know how busy I am going to be with the exception of work. And I waited until someone who was visiting my apartment, I had to wait for that person to leave before I can film my review for privacy's sake. So, my review on The Running Man. Now, the only thing I knew about The Running Man is I know it was based off a book, but I never read the book. But I have seen the original movie from 1987 starring Arnold Schwarzenegger. I actually like that one a lot. And I reacted to the the new Running Man movie trailer, and I thought it looked awesome. I had, if you watch my reaction, see, I had a lot of fun watching it and stuff. And I was really excited for this film, and I saw it, and it was alright. It wasn't. I was kind of slightly let down with but it stars Glen Powell, and basically in this version, it's about Glen Powell plays a man named Ben Richards who this actually takes place in our year 2025. It looks like it took place kind of sometime in the future, which I wish it would, but it just takes place in current 2025. But you can tell it's very futuristic. It's not like what we have right now. Anyway, his daughter becomes sick, and he needs money to pay for the medicine, I guess. So he participates in the Running Man TV program, which they have. Basically, it's just like some sort of reality TV show, just like what the original was, where they someone gets into a competition, like basically trying to survive in a city for 30 days, and then the hunters trying to come after them, and that's exactly what Glen Powell is trying to do. He participates in the Running Man competition. People around the world are watching him, including the audience as well, and it's kind of difficult to explain, but basically he has to survive and do certain tasks without hunters tracking him down and trying to kill him and stuff. And that's pretty much what the original Running Man also was. Like the movie, it's directed by Edgar Wright, who directed a lot of good films, like Baby Driver was my favorite film of his. And you could definitely tell it has some good action scenes in them. There's actually some good things about that movie. There's some good action scenes in them. Glen Powell actually was kind of little. He wasn't like super over the top like I was wondering if he was going to. I don't know too much about Glen Powell before this, by the way. So I went into this movie not knowing too much about what he used to do and stuff. But like the original Running Man, which I gotta talk about sometime in the future. Like Arnold Schwarzenegger in that film did a lot of his like one-liners. It was corny and cheesy, and even though it was an 80s film, I think like I understand what they were trying to do. They were trying to be more faithful to the book, which I said I never read, so I don't know. Stephen King wrote the book, and he usually not very impressed by a lot of the movies that based off his books, because I guess he had no involvement or something, and a lot of those ones end up being classics. But with The Running Man, he was the executive producer on it, and he wanted to be more truthful and faithful to the book. But I don't know. Sometimes it can backfire. You have to have something. You have to have something like even like you don't have to base it off the book all the time. You have to make something that stands out as long as it stays true to the spirit of the story. Like I enjoyed a lot of the action scenes in it, but there's also some parts that are kind of very confusing. How the world of this movie works. Like basically, for example, like you couldn't even tell like the show can get sorry, I got interrupted by something on the computer. But you can definitely basically it's just an evil host running the show and stuff, and they have an audience that gets brainwashed, like they're cheering on, like they want Ben Richards dead, and and there's some things like they trick, like for example they change out, like they alternate the footage to make it look like Glen Powell or Glen Powell's character saying things that he didn't really say, that like he record on the camera say something, and then they would have the producers like make him say something else and stuff. Like there's a few scenes where they did that, and there's certain scenes that they did like towards the end. I don't want to ruin, I don't want to spoil anything. That it's like did they? It's not very very clear like how they're doing. Like okay, the show might be faked. It could be fake, it could be rigged, but how did they do it? Like, did they use AI and stuff? Like, I remember in the original, there was a scene where they took a still image of Arnold being dead. They used, like, digitizing, like, the images and stuff, which I don't think that type of technology existed back in the 80s, but, you know, they said it in the future, so it does make sense. They just took a still picture and digitized it, make it look like he's dead. That made sense. Here, I was trying to figure out, it's just, there's some parts of it that are very confusing and so hard to follow. Even if you're not familiar with The Running Man, or you're familiar with it at all, like the book or the original film, you're going to get lost in this. And that's kind of like that was like the main problem with the film, like the storytelling, like Edgar Wright, you know, it should have been done way better. Should have done way better. I mean, I enjoyed the performances and that. And on top of that, there's these other two people who participate with Ben Richards in the Running Man. I haven't watched the original movie in a long time, but I recall the other people who were in the competition I remember like interacting with him and stuff. But here in the new version, they just go off their separate ways and that's it. They don't interact with each other that much, and like when they, spoiler alert, when they get killed off separately, there's just you didn't feel like you know them. They just killed them off. That they had no character whatsoever. And the villains, like I remember the villains very well. The original hunters in the original film, they had a personality, and yeah, it was over the top corny, but they had more of a personality. The hunters in this new one are just seem like regular assassins, no personality whatsoever. So there's nothing much memorable that I can take away from this movie other than with Glen Powell's performance and some of the action scenes. I actually had more like I felt like I had more feelings with the people that Glen Powell comes across during his adventure with like for example, there's this one crazy lady who's like shouting at the screen like, yeah, count all that. She was so over the top obnoxious, it was just kind of funny. Yeah, there was just a few things that I liked in The Running Man that were better than the original, but it could have been a better experience overall. So I don't know, it's kind of hard to explain without giving away certain aspects, but I mean, if you really want to see the new Running Man movie, if you're skeptical about it, maybe I recommend wait until it comes on video on demand or streaming on Paramount Plus because it's a Paramount movie. Maybe that would be it. Like, the action scenes are great to see on the big screen, but it doesn't make it, you gotta make both things, like the storytelling and the plot, make it more sense and easy to follow and comprehend, you know what I'm saying? Because like it could make a great movie going experience, but I don't know, maybe it's best to just to watch it on streaming, you know, because like there's nothing like mind-blowing. Even the story with with Ben Richards' daughter getting sick and trying to get money to help her, like it's nothing much new to this. I don't know. I think I give it credit for doing some things better in the new one than the original, but I don't know. I would prefer the original more because it was a lot more fun, a lot more engaging, and you know, like I don't know. I just left the theater kind of feeling very disappointed, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I hope Glen Powell does more movies. Same thing with Edgar Wright. I think they're both talented from what I saw, but I don't know. I mean, I want to know your thoughts on the new Running Man. Did you see it? Do you prefer the original, or maybe you have read the book? I mean, I don't know one person who has read the Running Man book. Maybe it's better, I don't know. But even Stephen King's like satisfied with the new one because I guess it's more faithful to the book, but to the regular casual viewer, I suspect it's something more. I wouldn't put The Running Man as like, it's not a bad movie, by the way. There's a lot of good stuff in them, but it was complicated, it was confusing, and some things could have been much better, and I don't know, that's pretty much how I feel. So anyway, that's my review of The Running Man 2025. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'm going to be, hopefully, as long as the Neon keeps to their promise, I'm going to be watching the movie Shelby Oaks on video on demand, and I might have a review out. I don't know, I just have to see it first before I consider it. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you later. Adios.